All right, guys, time for your monthly Keeping It Casual swag giveaway.
Yay! Woo! The last Wednesday of every month, we give you something special. It could be Keeping It Casual swag. It could be something from our sponsor, Like a Kitten.
Oh, yes. And they just launched sex toys, guys. And
they just launched a sex toy line.
Next month, monster giveaway from them. And all you got to do to get in on this giveaway, go to Apple Podcasts, search up Keeping It Casual Podcast, rate and review.
Simple as that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, I'm MJ.
And I'm Bree.
Welcome to Keeping It Casual,
A sex-positive dating and relationship advice podcast.
Yes, I'm married with 2 kids.
And I'm navigating this crazy dating world.
We're just here to share our drama.
And the wild stories of our listeners.
Your Vegas girls are here for you.
Let's do it. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. No cocktails again today because I have date night tonight.
Ooh.
And that's where I'm spending all my... I don't want to be sleepy. You start drinking at noon and you know how it goes.
It's a nice cloudy 352 degrees outside.
Yeah, sounds about right. Just a little oven.
Yeah, just a little oven out here. Yeah, so have you been up to anything fun?
Yes, I had dinner with you and our past guest, Chris Kim from Faces and Aces podcast.
It was so fun. And then we took a picture together and I was like, we look like the Breakfast Club and I'm Ali Sheedy.
Yeah, I'm definitely Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, I'm definitely Ali Sheedy. And he was like, I want to look like Emilio. And we were like, all right, Chris Kim, you could be Emilio.
He actually forced us. He's like, ladies, what's up with the Twitter thing? You guys don't have a Twitter. I was like, well, I have a Twitter. I've had forever. The Beastie Boys are following me. Yes, that was just a mic drop.
Yeah.
But I was like... I was like, so I don't want to make one for the podcast. What's the point?
And I was like, I don't use Twitter that much, so I don't care.
I was like, he's like, I'm sick of like hashtagging this and then tagging you both. And I was like, fine, I'll make one. So you guys, we're on Twitter.
Yes.
Give us follows and we're going to be following everybody back this month. Okay. So follow us while you can.
Yeah. It's KICPOD, Keeping It Casual Pod. So we wanted KIC podcast, but there's a podcast called Keeping It Consistent that is so not consistent because they haven't made one post on it.
Fuckers. And there's a Keeping It Casual account that actually has just been sitting on it since 2010 and doesn't follow anybody or post anything.
So if
I hate you all.
I hate you guys. If anybody on our Keepers world understands how to get names from dead accounts or accounts that have never been used, please help us.
There's got to be something. I was like, should I report them on Twitter? I'm like, you know what? That's like, what? I was like, this is a fake account.
This is fake. We don't want to be Karens, but we also want something more than KICPOD.
I was a Twitter Karen. I was like, I'm reporting this Keeping It Casual account that nobody's using, you fuckers. But anyways, I digress. I was extremely excited to actually, I haven't been to a restaurant with nobody. Y'all know how it is.
Yeah.
6 months. And Bree and I got there. We sat out back. There was Misters.
In the middle of a heat wave, but we still felt very comfortable.
And we were in the back alley of downtown Las Vegas with tons of cool graffiti. I was like, I love this place.
And we got to eat, we went to Esther's Kitchen. Yeah. We got to eat like anchovy cauliflower stuff.
Octopus.
We had octopus.
Mussels.
We had mussel toast.
It was so weird, but
it was, and oh my god, the goat cheesecake.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And the butterscotch pudding was really good. It was made with scotch.
So you know we ate everything. Okay, we were there for like 2.5 hours.
And we did it like tapa style where we ordered just like a whole bunch of appetizers. Oh, the Caesar salad.
Oh, the Caesar salad
had anchovies on it.
Okay.
It was a real Caesar salad.
And we discovered that if you take like, and this is how we're going to make our next time we make like shrimp tacos or like mussels, we're going to because we put all the mussels on the Caesar salad and just kind of
to
like
not eat as much
wrap.
bread, even though it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. But like a lettuce wrap with sauteed shrimp or some kind of seafood. Lean in. That's how I'm making my next meal.
But the mussels with the real Caesar dressing in the romaine lettuce, it just all those flavors together. It was perfection.
We were going to talk to the show. You know what? I noticed something cool on that menu. I was like, this is a pretty cool idea. There was a menu item for $6 and it said, buy the kitchen staff a pitcher of beer.
Aww.
I was like, that's interesting. They're like, just tell your waiter. Be like, well, you don't throw a pitcher of beer for the kitchen staff on there. And it was like $6.
That is cool. So if you guys want to buy us a beer, you can go to our PayPal and donate money.
We'll take a picture for $6.
Just saying.
I was so giddy. Just like I was looking at Bree when we sat down. I was like, oh my God, why am I just like so excited and so happy? And she's like, because we haven't been anywhere since February together besides like my house or your house.
Yeah, and that's true. We haven't. Like the last time we were out was February. We went and met with Lindsley, had some whiskey, and then we went to dinner, and then we went a comedy open mic.
That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah. And all the comedians were drunk and we were sober and we were like, this is lame.
That was when we had a hard lesson in like when people aren't drunk and they listen to you and you're very drunk, it can be very off-putting.
Well, we kind of listened back to the Jocelyn episode and we were both kind of like, oh God.
Yeah.
We were so drunk.
We're promising to do better for you.
And we have been.
I think so.
We've been doing a lot better. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, first of all, we got to give a shout out to Like a Kitten.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like a Kitten. They just launched their own line of vibrators.
I
There's
know.
a few different ones, so go to likeakitten.com and check it out.
Yeah, and 20% off. Use code KEEPERS20. But they are getting in on a huge giveaway for next month. So just remember, rate and review at Apple Podcasts to get in on that. But somebody's getting hooked up with some vibrators.
Yes.
Okay, straight up. It's going to be hot and sexy. And that's how they do it. They have all those really cool sensual subscription boxes. They're seasonally. Like, they're just doing it all. Like,
Yes.
It's really beautiful stuff.
And we'll talk more about them later.
It was really funny because Bree and I were talking about what episode we wanted to do. And this is something been on our mind for a while because we have some great juicy stories.
Yes, we do.
We wanted to share. And Bree texted me this morning. And what did you text me?
Okay, so the episode we're going to do, obviously, is Catfish.
Catfish.
Part 2.
Nev, where are you?
Neve, where are you?
Oh, Neve.
Neve, where are you? Not Nev Campbell.
I know.
Neve Schulman.
She's the one that watches all the catfish.
Yeah. So a year, 2 years ago, I still feel like we're only a year into
know.
podcasting for some reason in my
We're
brain.
drunk a lot of it.
2 years ago on this day, we released the first ever Catfish episode.
That is so weird.
And we did this shit on accident. We did not mean to do this on
No,
purpose.
but how funny is that?
I think that would I think if we were like, oh, maybe let's do a different episode, I think that was that would have been the universe being like, bitch,
Do the catfish episode.
do the Catfish episode. So we're doing the Catfish episode. The thing is like people are especially vulnerable right now because of how the world is being lived. To online predators, we're unable to meet new people in person, meaning are reaching out online, and they might be ignoring some red flags of internet dating. About 10% of dating profiles are fake. In theory, it sounds extremely low.
No, but yeah.
Chances are you've come across a catfish, especially if you swipe a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, catfishing can happen for a variety of reasons. Attention, boredom, marketing products, scamming people out of their money is the number one thing. They pretty much want your fucking money.
Yeah, and there's really two types of catfishers: those who lie because they want to hurt, and those who lie because they want to get close.
I have a story of a friend that I want to share. This was the first time I've ever heard of anybody being catfish, and this
Really?
this was a few years back when I worked at another radio station, and I met this girl. Okay, well, she was in her 50s. She was this beautiful boss babe. I mean, she was CEO of the company. She didn't work in my radio station. She worked in my building, so I would see
Yeah.
her from time to time.
Yeah.
She had just moved to Vegas. She had just gotten a divorce. She was like a year out of a divorce. She moved to a new city and was like, I'm the boss. I don't have any friends. So, and I just thought she was
Yeah.
just a cool older chick. You know, I was
Yeah.
like in my early 30s. And anyway, she would just tell me, she's like, gosh, I just don't know anybody. I don't know how to meet guys. I'm thinking of doing online dating. I remember her just saying like, online dating is just I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then one day she was telling me, she's like, so guess what? And I was like, what? And she's like, I met someone. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And she's like, it's just kind of new, but she goes, something's very different about him. I was like, oh yeah. And she goes, well, and I was like, well, what's his name? And she told me, she's like, but the catfish, he didn't live here. I was like, where does he live? She goes, he lives in South Africa. And I was like, okay.
He's a Nigerian prince who wants to give you $1 million.
He was a very handsome Greek man. Okay. So she shows me the picture and I'm like, oh, she goes, and he's got money. He's got a really good job over there. I don't remember what the job was right now, but here was the thing. So you got this picture of this very handsome Greek man. All right. He lives in South Africa. Hence, that's why he had the South African accent, I'm imagining, because he'd been there for 20 years, he said, widowed, and had an adopted son who was African. Okay. So these are, in hindsight, I'm like, these are little ways you can put a story together of a person that's like, okay, well, here's this guy, but when you talk to me, I'm going to sound African, and I've got a kid that I could pull into this whole mix too, but he's going to sound African too. He would send video.
Lord. He sent
would happen.
videos?
Yeah. So wait. So this is what happened. So this is like springtime, right? She's so excited about him. Every once in a while I would talk to her and she's like, oh, she's like, yeah, we're talking. She's like, he calls me every night, every single night. So this is what
From
they
South
do.
Africa?
Oh yeah. Every single night.
It wasn't expensive?
Messaging and stuff like that. So she was sending him calling cards. She's like, well, I sent him calling cards because for whatever reason, she believed him. She's also,
as we it's the point of you want to believe them.
yeah. So I remember her saying something about calling cards and them talking a lot, and messaging on like Yahoo chat or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I do remember one time she was like on the phone and she's like, it's MJ. She's like, hold on, say hi. And she shows me her phone, and on her phone is a video of this cute little African boy. And he's like, hi. And I'm like, who's that? And she's like, that's his son, whatever. And I'm like, okay. Kind of confused. That's when she broke it down to me afterwards that he was widowed and they adopted a little boy in South Africa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so now they've looped her in with a little boy. So this started in the springtime.
Jeez.
By the fall, he was starting school. She bought the little boy an iPad. She had sent him a phone leading up to that so they could contact each other more. Then she comes in one day and she's like, guess what I'm doing today? I was like, what? She's like, I'm going to the NSPCA because I have a cat and he loves cats, and when they get here I want them to have a cat. So she bought a cat. She got another cat because this was now all their cat, because the plan was they're moving out by Christmas. He's moving out. They're going to buy a house. They're in love. They're getting married, right?
Okay.
So this is just me catching up with her. Maybe every couple weeks I see her and she's just telling me about her romance.
So you don't get to see the red flags, obviously, because you're not that involved in it.
And I was like, this is awesome for her. She's so happy.
And
like,
this was like when online dating was kind of new.
Super new. Like this was like 2011. Okay.
Yeah.
In Christmas, they were planning on buying a house together. So she'd already bought this cat. She'd invested in this cat together, right? He was sending her flowers too. He would send her flowers. She never got to video chat with him, only with the son. How weird is that?
Yeah, that is really weird. And, you know, in 2011, like, FaceTime wasn't really as prominent as it is now.
So really, it was just kind of a little video thing. And I was like, who's this little boy, right? Like, it was just kind of like, hi. And she's like, he can't talk right now.
You're going to be my new mom type thing. Yeah.
Just, I mean, she didn't have any kids, you know.
Really good at setting up to pull at the heartstrings.
It was really fucked up. So, and then when she got the cat, I was like, all right. And she's like, well, I'm signing, my lease is up in December. He's moving out here and we're going to get a house together. So he's sending me a check. He's sending me a check to hold on to. So when he comes out, I can deposit it. He sent her an $850,000 check. This is when I got nervous. So this is getting closer to Christmas. They're moving out. She has already packed up everything. She's not re-signing her lease for December because Christmas, he's going to be out here.
Yeah.
It gets me a little sad thinking about it.
That makes me sad too.
Yeah. So she packed up all her stuff and she's kind of like staying with a friend now because it's December. And when he gets here, they're going to go get their own place. But she was holding off for a minute. She's like, I remember her kind of looking at me a little suspicious. She's like, he sent me an $850,000 check and he wants me to deposit it for him and send him back some money so he can move over here. Like he wanted like $100,000 or something.
Oh,
this is part of this money mule scamming. So I was like, that sounds odd. Why can't he just do it? And it was I don't remember the details of it, but
it sounds like it's a fake check, obviously.
Sure. And it'll clear to where she can pull out like a minimum. And then they're going to be like, okay, this doesn't clear. And then she's going to have to pay it back.
Yeah.
She never did that.
Yeah.
She never did that. So I think she had a little bit of reservations about it as well. Christmas is coming gone. Like he's coming on Christmas, him and his son. She's got the new cat. That's now the family cat that they got together.
Oh, dear God.
So I remember going back after like Christmas break and it was like the second week in January and I saw her and she was like out smoking a cigarette. And I was like, what's up, girl? Like, how's it going? I was like, so is your man here? Are you like in your new house and everything? And she took like the biggest hit off her cigarette and just like the biggest exhale and was like, it was a fucking scam. And I was like, what? Like after
how long had they been talking?
It was like spring to Christmas. She gave
almost an entire year.
That's when she told me, she's like, his son was fake. She goes, I bought him an iPhone, an iPad. I gave them a ton of calling cards. She goes, I sent him clothes. She goes, it was ridiculous. She goes, I ended up looking into it. She goes, I was at the airport on Christmas Eve waiting for his flight to come in and he never showed. She's like, he never showed. And I was just like, my heart sunk for her because this was a fucking ride that he took her on. And she didn't tell me all the things that he did, but I know that she was feeding him a lot of money and cash. Plus she was a very wealthy, independent woman. You know what I mean? Like she had the money to take care of somebody if she needed to help. But she was also like the whole time she's like, this guy's got money. Like he's loaded, you know? So he put on this big front.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it was just really sad. And I was like, we need to call Fox 5 News. Like we got to get, this is a crazy story. Like my whole news reporter head is spinning. I'm like, this is fucking insane. She's like, please don't tell anybody. I was like, okay, but oh my God. I was just, the fact that she got a cat, she moved out of her place, like Christmas Day, she's at the airport waiting for her man. And I'm glad she's like, I got really suspicious when he gave me the check in December.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a down payment on the house.
Yeah.
But I had to give him some money to get over here. She goes, that's when I started getting a little suspicious.
$850,000 for a down payment on a house?
It was basically like, here's some money, I'm good for it, hold on to that. I just need 100,000 of it so I can like get my affairs in order, and I'll see you over there.
Why don't you just get your affairs in order and come over?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they was all passport and like I can't.
Of course. Oh God, that breaks my heart.
It was a sad. So
well,
that was my friend's catfish story, and I was just like, oh my God, I told everybody.
So
didn't know her, but it was like crazy.
Yeah. I have another catfish story.
Yes, tell me yours.
This is interesting. This happened to a friend of mine.
All right, guys, time for your monthly Keeping It Casual swag giveaway.
Yay! The last Wednesday of every month, we give you something special. It could be Keeping It Casual swag. It could be something from our sponsor, Like a Kitten.
Oh, yes. And they just launched sex toys, guys. And
they just launched a sex toy line. And let me tell you, there's one that I really, really, really want.
Next month, monster giveaway from them. So just keep your eyes peeled. And all you got to do to get in on this giveaway, go to Apple Podcasts, search up Keeping It Casual Podcast, rate and review.
Simple as that. Just do it once and you are entered for life.
That's right. You're going to get something.
Gonna keep podcasting forever.
You're not going anywhere.
Anyways, so this month's winner, can I have a drum roll, please?
I'm trying to beatbox, but I'll get
Bo 39.
Oh.
5 stars. It says, these voices make me hard. Preach. Well.
All right. Well, you know what? We got something hard in the mail for you, okay?
Go ahead and send us an email to feedback@keepingitcasualpodcast.com with your address.
That's right. And make sure that you go check out our sponsors, Like a Kitten. Get excited about next month's giveaway. And if you want to buy something in the meantime, drop code KEEPERS20 at checkout.
See you soon. I have another catfish story.
Yes, tell me yours.
This is interesting. This happened to a friend of mine. She had broken up with her boyfriend, moved out. They've been together, living together for 5.5 years. It was a very emotionally abusive relationship, and she just was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. But they shared an animal, so she was over there all the time. They were still friends. They just weren't in a relationship together anymore, and they weren't sleeping together anymore, and she didn't live there anymore. And she gets this message from somebody, because she used to be a model, and she gets this message from this guy, and he was like, hey, I saw you at this convention and I was so nervous and I wanted to go meet you and blah 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 blah, but I was so nervous because you're so beautiful.
How did he send it?
It was an email.
I think my friend's was like Match was. Like this dude was playing the high roller game.
Yeah, he must have been like Match and like Plenty of Fish and probably those ones back in 2011. I don't know. I wasn't on.
You still had to pay for Match back then, but I
think you still have to pay for Match now, don't you?
Yeah, but he was just straight up like, let's get off the app and let's chat one-on-one.
Oh, he was trying to get off the app quick because he didn't want to pay for it.
He got that website real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I get it.
But anyways, I was just curious, like how he sent her an email.
Yeah, I think it was an email or like a Facebook Messenger or something. Yeah. It was just something like that. And she just started chatting with this guy, and he was charming, and he was fun, and he was funny, and they exchanged nude photos and this and that, and then all of a sudden he started threatening her over email. If you don't do this for me, I'm gonna send your entire family those photos you sent me.
What?
If you don't do this, I'm gonna do this.
What kind of things was he asking her? Just like demanding her attention or something?
Yeah, I think so. She was very vague with those details because it still really hurts her, and this is why. She's at her ex-boyfriend's house, and she's like, I think he's like hacked my account because he says he knows how to get in touch with all my family and blah 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 blah. And her ex-boyfriend was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. He goes to the bathroom, and she sees an email pop up on his phone from the account that's been blackmailing her. Her ex-boyfriend was catfishing her for a fucking year and threatening her.
A fucking year?
A year after they broke up.
While she's hanging out with him?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, he's just consuming all of her energy.
Yes.
So she can
because he was already emotionally abusive and stuff. Yep.
What a fucked up thing to do.
What a fucked up
That's
thing to do.
That's more fucked up than the Nigerian prince.
So She went to the FBI on him.
Oh.
Reported his ass.
Okay.
Yes. Reported his ass.
Nail his ass.
And so she went over to his house like that same day because she figured it all out and didn't let him know that she had figured it out.
Okay.
And she went over to the house so he could see their aunt pet baby. And he goes, yeah, whatever happened to that guy that was like blackmailing you and stuff? And she goes, I went to the FBI on him. She goes, even though I had all the proof, his face said everything. And she looked at him and said, why'd you do it? Because the way his face dropped. And he said, because I didn't want to lose you. And she said, I was over here every fucking day.
When he's getting that I'm like biting my nails off as you're telling me the story.
Yes.
He's like manipulating and telling her like all like this shit. He was consuming all of her time.
Which is what he did when they were together. She wasn't allowed to have friends outside of the relationship or anything. Yeah. So he catfished her for a year after they broke up.
That's
and
really
she to this day
fucked up.
tells me she still feels stupid. And I was like, you were not stupid.
Oh, you know what?
Because you were in a very vulnerable situation. You were on your own after living with a guy for 5.5 years. You were living by yourself. You didn't have that clutch of a relationship. And there's so many different things. You were in a very vulnerable position and he attacked you in that vulnerable position.
That's so fucked up and selfish.
Isn't it?
These fake ass people. That's what breaks my heart the most about like situations like that was just when she told me, when she just, because she knew she's like probably avoiding the shit out of me because it'd been 2 weeks, Christmas break, not many people are around. It was like middle of January before I saw her again. I was like, what's up, girl? Like, how's the married life? Like, you got your man, y'all getting married?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And I'll never forget the way she hit that cigarette, just like,
It told you everything, right?
I was like fucking scared. I was like, oh my God. I was like,
You know what's crazy is I feel like
I was like, do you still have that cat? She's like, I got 2 cats.
okay, you
I'm
know
living
what's
with my friend.
you know what's crazy is like yours are always scams, mine are always deceit from people you've met.
Dude, that's
I feel like the way we tell
up.
catfish stories,
You're right. Yeah, the last one, the original Catfish episode was something my sister got sucked into. I didn't admit that on the show because it was still very new and wanted to keep. But then she's like, whatever.
Yeah, she was like, it's fine.
Now she's more woke because you know. And what you went through was unspeakable and just heartbreaking. You know.
Yeah.
And I think what you said, like she said, you feel like the biggest fucking fool.
You
And
do.
You feel so embarrassed and you feel so stupid. Anytime somebody deceives you that you put your trust into, you feel like a fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah,
And it's just
for
not
sure.
fair because there's just people out there. You don't want to suspect everybody.
Yeah.
But when you go in and trust somebody and you
Yeah.
give them all that and they just use you like that, that is one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah, so what do you do if you suspect who you're talking to is fake? I have a rule where you FaceTime them within like 72 hours.
I like that. That made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Like, get some video action time.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to give them your phone number, like Snapchat has like a FaceTime option. We found out Instagram has like a FaceTime option because I was being stalked by a witch who tried to FaceTime me at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, like honestly, like if the profile has 2 photos, I remember when my sister I said, does he have Facebook? She's like, he doesn't have Facebook. I was like, does he have Instagram? She goes, yeah, here's his Instagram. And it was like 5 pictures of this hot Marine that were very odd from their personality. You know, it's just like, why is some army guy gonna have a picture of like him and a little girl, one of him flexing? It was just odd.
Yeah.
It was very odd. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is not a real thing. And you just want to believe it so much.
Yeah.
Because they will call you day and night and all day long.
Yeah, Neve from Catfish, Mr. Neve, Mr. Catfish, the one who brought all this to light.
I call him Nev.
Yeah. He actually wrote a book where he said, like, because, he was fooled. He was fooled for months by this woman, and she made multiple profiles. She made up a whole life, a whole family, everything.
Damn.
And he was fooled for months by this woman, and he said, I could have looked into it sooner, but I wanted to believe it because I felt lonely. I was in a vulnerable place in my life, and I looked at this whole cool family and like I had no reason not to believe them, so I wanted to believe it. And that's what I went through with the British prick.
Yep.
I had he was really a little bit too good for words, but I had met him.
Yeah.
I was with him.
Yeah.
We had been together. We had held hands. So
he did a lot of work to create these online personas.
exactly.
So
and
they will do the work.
they will do the work. And that's the thing is like,
They'll send flowers. They'll create kids.
yeah, you have no, like, you come to a point where it's like, well, I have no reason not to believe you.
Yeah.
Another thing is if they don't link up, you said your sister had the Instagram or whatever. If they don't link up social media to their profile, it's considered a red flag. I got these from this article from Bustle, which I'll link in the show notes.
Oh,
Sorry.
awesome.
I meant to say that.
No, that's great. No, that's great.
Yeah. So, but which I kind of have an issue with because I don't like, now obviously I'm not on dating apps right now, but when I didn't like linking up my Instagram or any other social medias because people can be creepy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want those like DMs.
Like, I don't know you like that yet.
Yeah, I don't know you like that yet.
Yeah. But after you've talked for a while, then I think it is something to say like, okay, now that I've talked to you and I only know you from a dating app, I'd like to see some social media presence.
Yeah.
I want to see who you are.
Yeah, and that's fine. But like, I don't link because I know on Bumble and Tinder, I don't know about Hinge. I don't know about a few of them, but I know on Bumble and Tinder, it's like link your Instagram profile, which I mean, when people have their Instagram profiles linked, I'm like, all right, cool. But like me, I'm like, oh, I don't need you knowing anything about me.
One of Chris's buddies, he's like, man, fuck all these online dating profiles. He's like, all the girls do is want you to go to their Instagrams, give them a follow, and then pay them money.
Oh yeah, Snapchat Premium. Pay me $5 and I'll show you my Snapchat Premium. That's what a lot of them do.
Man.
I've heard that too. Honestly, if somebody seems too good to be true, they probably are.
Remember we did the reverse Google images.
Do a reverse Google image search on somebody. Yeah.
When you get that picture, you can put it into Google Images and it'll pull up a bunch of stuff. Like when we pulled up my sister's, what was that? Like this guy's picture was like, I mean, this was the laziest catfisher ever. This guy's picture was
all over scamming sites.
Oh yeah. It was like, oh, watch out for this guy. He's been known as John, Mark, this, that. And it wasn't until I showed her that picture because it was the end of the night. We went through this whole like you open up a bank account and all this shit. You guys got to listen to Catfish if you
Episode 8.
haven't known. It wasn't until I pulled up his picture online and I said, come here, I want to show you something. And she saw his photo under all these scammer blogs. You could just tell her heart just stopped. And she was just, because this was like a 4-month thing.
Yeah.
So she was in it.
What was really sad about it too is for her, because they were supposed to meet.
My mom's like, your sister's talking about she wants to get married to this guy
she's never met.
She's like, something's up, girl. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, and what was really sad is she was just dipping her toe back into the dating scene after not dating forever.
I know. It was really tragic.
That's what broke my heart. And so how do you heal after being catfished?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said that. Yeah. And then I would say like treat it like a real breakup. Like, because it is. If you need to cut off all ties, seek out like solace from your friends, go on that whatever eat, pray, love trip that you've been planning to do, whatever, treat it like a breakup. Like if you want to be angry, be fucking angry.
Yeah, be angry because they don't deserve it. And it's also one of those things where it's unfair and like, how are you going to find that Nigerian prince and go punch him in the face? You can't. And that's really frustrating. Maybe get a kickboxing punching bag. You got to channel that energy somewhere. Just remember you're not alone. Celebrities, your next door neighbor, your favorite podcaster.
Me.
Yes. All been catfished in one way or another.
And I mean, catfishing can even just be like to the simplest term of pretending you're doing something different online and pretending you're somebody else online than who you really are.
People that are just misleading, maybe they're married and they got dating profiles out there. Maybe they have maybe they have children and they're not disclosing they have children and a whole family, or there's a lot of sneaky things. There's so many different levels of catfishing.
There is. And it's okay to feel anger towards the person who duped you. They lied to you. They manipulated you. Whatever you can, just don't feel down on yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just like that with anything.
Yeah, and you went into this situation with a pure heart, looking for love. Just don't blame yourself for opening up to someone who lies, because what happened to you doesn't make you any less worthy of love, okay?
It doesn't. And you know what? That goes with any relationship, but I feel like being catfished, you're just like, okay, now who was this person this entire time? Ugh, breaks my heart.
Trying to get over that and trust somebody again. I think every time we go through something shitty, we learn something from it, we take something from it, and we're stronger and smarter from it. So that's all.
True.
That's
and
all that is.
I learned to love again after what happened to me.
That's right.
Now maybe that guy fucked up even worse than the first one, but
well, just another scenario of somebody fucking being deceiving,
But I learned to, if I can do it, so can you. And that goes with anything. And I did find some cool articles, one from Bumble and one from the Huffington Post, about how to heal after being catfished.
Yeah.
But the one on Bumble, I think, even talks about how to report like catfish profiles and stuff.
Oh, another one time somebody wants you to Western Union them anything.
Yeah,
this could go from like say you're buying something off Facebook Marketplace, you're selling something, it cannot be traced and you cannot get that money back.
Nope.
So Western Union is a giant red flag anytime you're dealing with money situations with Western Union.
Oh, and be careful of Venmo if you're doing, because Venmo is not necessarily supposed to be used for buying purchases and goods. Use PayPal. Venmo's made for like, we went out to dinner, I'm gonna send you, my half of the check. That's what Venmo's for.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You guys, and lots of great tips in episode 8. If you want to go back and check out the catfish episode, we'll link to that in the show notes as well. But God, these stories are very sad. And if you have one, when you want to share, we would love to just recount it with you.
Yeah.
Just, send us an email, feedback, keepingitcasualpodcast.com, especially if it's something someone you knew, or maybe you went through it and you want to talk about it. Like, let's talk about it.
And we love you.
Yeah. And in the meantime, join us on Twitter. We're doing follow backs at KIC Pod, because that's the new thing.
That is the new thing. All right. Until next time.
Bye. Oh, good times. We hope you related.
If so, let us feature you. Email us at feedback@keepingitcasualpodcast.com, or show you're a keeper on Facebook. Like the Keeping It Casual page and join the group.
Yes, bonus. If you rate and review on Apple Podcasts, you get into our monthly Keeping It Casual swag giveaway. It's the last Wednesday of every month.
More hookups when you share us on your Instagram stories at Keeping It Casual Podcast.
That's right. Find me anywhere socially at MJ Radio Diva.
And I'm everywhere at Breemixed, BREEMIXED.
Keep it casual.
Bye.
Bye.